Traditionally, biology has often focused on individual components, a single gene, a lone protein, or a specific cellular pathway. While this approach has given us valuable insights, it's a bit like trying to understand a song by just listening to one instrument. We miss out on the bigger picture, the interactions, the rhythm that brings everything together. How do all these biological components interact? How do they influence each other? And how do these interactions result in the complex behaviours that we see in living organisms? Systems biology is our way of understanding this intricate symphony. Hey everyone, welcome back to Bytesized Bioinformatics. Today we are exploring the world of systems biology. This is the science that aims to decipher the complex web of molecular interactions. Let's start by visualizing some of the systems we find in biology. At the most basic level, we have simple systems like an enzyme breaking down a molecule. If we zoom out a bit, we see more complex systems like a signal transduction pathway, where multiple molecules communicate to produce a response. Zoom out even further and we encounter vast cellular networks, where countless pathways and processes interconnect, working in harmony. But why do we want to model these systems? Well, one major reason is predictions. If we understand a system well, we can predict how it changes, like how mutations or drugs might affect it. This can lead us to identify potential drug targets or understand disease mechanisms better. Another important reason for modeling biological systems is to design new drugs and treatments. By understanding how a disease works at the molecular level, we can design drugs that target specific components of the disease process. However, modeling biological systems is no small feat. Imagine starting with a basic network, like a few friends connecting on social media. Now imagine trying to map the connections of an entire city, country, or even the world. The complexity grows exponentially. Similarly, while modeling a single pathway might be straightforward, capturing the intricacies of an entire cell or organ becomes a monumental task. And remember, biology communicates at multiple levels, so we have DNA, RNA, protein, and more. Integrating data from these various sources adds another layer of complexity to this problem. In systems biology, we turn to mathematical equations to emulate what's going on in these biological systems. I want you to quickly imagine a physics problem that you might have come across when you were in school. You might have been asked to calculate the trajectory of a ball. And in these types of problems, instead of considering every single variable such as the density of the air or the temperature, we just focus on the main forces at play. So the initial force that the ball was thrown with and gravity. This can give us a close enough answer because there's probably a million different variables that are at play here, but we're just taking the main forces at play that get us 95% of the way there. We do a similar thing in systems biology when we're trying to model one of these systems. We instead try to capture the essence of the system without getting lost in every minute detail. So let's now go over 3 high-level steps that would be used for creating and using one of these models. So the journey starts with collecting a bunch of data. So this would span gene expression patterns to intricate protein interactions. This data, when combined, paints a holistic picture of the biological system that we're trying to model. With this rich dataset, we form our mathematical model. Here, equations translate the complex biological dance into discernible patterns. Now, this model isn't just a static representation, it's a predictive tool. So we can simulate perturbations to the system. And this might, for example, hint at the role of a gene in a pathway or process. Now, the last step is to take these predictions from our model and go back into the lab and validate them. So we're using the model to create hypotheses which we're then going to go and test in the real world. And we can see if our predictions do in fact align with reality. Through systems biology, we're gaining a panoramic view of life. Instead of studying isolated melodies in the orchestra of a cell, we're beginning to peek at the grand symphony. Well-designed models can illuminate how subtle shifts at the molecular level can cascade through an organism. And this can offer profound insights into health, disease, and the very nature of life itself. So that concludes this episode on systems biology. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, and I'll see you in the next episode.